What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Blizzle Brasco, baby. Check it out. What you are looking at is a compilation of gameplays from the new map pack, the Eclipse map pack. I was gonna do a whole review and my thoughts on the maps and all that good stuff, but you know what? I decided, hey, there's 150,000 videos out there doing reviews on the new map pack, so I'm just gonna put up some gameplay and I'm gonna tell y'all this map pack is really good. They did a really good job with these maps. I don't have any complaints about any of them. Verge is probably my favorite, and if you have not downloaded or bought these maps yet, I would suggest you do so, and I'm gonna leave it at that and let y'all check it out for yourself. Now, as far as this video is concerned, this is going to be a new mini series. It's not going to be a series like my story time. It's going to be a new mini series. I'm doing it probably about 6 or 7 episodes, and yes, it is called Growing Up Black. Now, before I get into the actual nitty-gritty of this series, first of all, I want to say I hope that I do not offend anybody with this commentary, with future commentaries for this series. There's really nothing to get offended about, but I do want to put that disclaimer out there. I hope I don't offend anyone with these commentaries. But the reason why I decided I wanted to do this series is because I was playing with a good friend of mine the other day. Well, somebody I play with on PlayStation, and he asked me a question, and he led with, hey, I got a question for you, since you're black, or you're a strong black guy or whatever. And I didn't take offense to that. I got thick skin. I didn't take offense to that, and I knew he didn't mean it in an offensive way, but it dawned on me, between that and the questions he asked, which were race related, but it wasn't anything bad. But it dawned on me, a lot of people who watch my videos, a lot of people who, just out there in the world in general, either A, don't know any black people, or they just don't associate or interact with black people, maybe because they don't live in a town where there are black people at, or they just don't for whatever reason, or maybe they're racist. I don't fucking know. But a lot of people, they just don't, all they know is what they see on TV and media and they hear, so I wanted to give y'all an insight into my life growing up black, not only as a black man, but growing up in the South as a black man. So before I get into it though, if you are not subscribed to the Blizzle Brasco Gaming channel, man, smack the shit out of that subscribe button at this time. So anyways, growing up black, man, in South Carolina, this series is going to be in chronological order of my life. So I'm going to start with how I first got introduced to racism. And it started when I was 6 years old. I was 6 years old and I had just moved to a new city, new town. And I was just started going to a new school and everything. I think I was in the first grade at the time or whatever. And the school I went to, it was predominantly white. I mean, I lived in a white neighborhood. I grew up in mostly white neighborhoods. My parents were military. So almost everywhere we lived was either on a base or was in a nice neighborhood. So I went to school. The school I went to was predominantly white. And it was never a big deal to me growing up. I never saw that as an issue. I never saw that as a thing. Like, it was just kids. But anyway, my birthday was coming up and I wanted to have a party, man. I wanted to have a pizza party at Pizza Hut. Everybody come eat a bunch of pizza, get our little bellies full, and eat cake and all that good stuff. That's what I wanted to do, man. I told my mom, I said, that's what I want to do for my birthday. So, we got some invitations. We got our invitations together. I passed them out to everybody in my class. And everybody was just so excited. Yeah, we're going to eat pizza, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So I'm like, all right, cool. And my mom was like, hey, I'll invite some of, her. She invited some of her friends' kids who I would, play with when they come over. Or I go to their house or whatever. So she invited them too. So, I'm 6 years old. I'm excited as hell. I'm like, man, I can't wait. Pizza party. Pizza Hut, I'm about to eat pizza, my little fat ass, me and my friends, we're gonna have a good time, we get a bunch of gifts, it's gonna be awesome. So we get to Pizza Hut, and, we got there early, obviously, so we could set up or whatever, and, as time went by, my mom's friends started showing up, but nobody from my class came. So, to skip ahead a little bit, no one out of my class, not one. I believe there was like 28 or 30 kids in my class. Not one of them came to the party. So, I'm 6 years old. My thought is, damn, nobody. Well, I didn't say damn at the age of 6. I mean, I wasn't cussing yet. But well, my first thought, I was like, wow, maybe nobody likes me. But I thought they did like me because we all play together at recess, and you know, no one teases me or anything like that. So I don't get it. Why didn't anybody come to my party? You know, that's all I could think to myself as 6 years old. And I was hurt, even though I had fun. You know, there was still a decent amount of people there based on the people my mom invited, but it was just like no one from my class came, and I don't understand why. So that Monday when I got back to school, I had 3 different classmates tell me the same thing. Obviously, it was worded different from each person, but 3 different classmates told me the same shit. And basically, to sum it up, they were like, hey, I wanted to come to your party. I'm sorry. My mom said I couldn't come. My dad said I couldn't come because you were black. And that was at 6 years old. You know, you tell kids stuff, or, you know, some of y'all have little brothers, some of y'all may have kids or, you know, siblings or whatever, and you tell kids stuff and they run with it. Sometimes you don't tell them, it's not meant for them to tell somebody else, but you tell a kid something and they run with it, you know, because they say the most honest people in the world are drunk people and little kids. So these 3 kids' parents told them, no, you're not going to this party because he's black. That's what their parents told them. So they, you know, their parents obviously didn't mean for them to tell me that, but they told me anyway. So, you know, imagine, I was just 3 people out of my class. Imagine how many people in the class, parents shared that same sentiment. You know what I'm saying? So I went home and I told my mom, because I didn't understand. I was like, Mom, I was talking to my friends and they said they didn't come to my party because I'm black. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with being black? And my mom and my dad sat me down and they just explained to me what racism was, what stereotypes were. At 6 years old, I'm getting this lecture. I'm getting this, you know, schooling, so to speak, from my parents about racism and prejudice and all of that. And they explained it to me, and I'm like, wow. You know, I'm just like, wow. At 6 years old, I remember having this conversation with my parents, man. And I'm just like, wow. Like, that's crazy. And you got to keep in mind, too, this was the early 90s. I know I'm showing my age a little bit right now. But this was the early 90s, man. So, I mean, it wasn't too far out of an era where, you know, blacks and whites were segregated. So, you know, racism was still very prevalent. It's still very prevalent today. But it was still very prevalent back then. You know what I'm saying? It was very prevalent. And I was in the South, too. So that didn't make it no better. But yeah, man, 6 years old, I was introduced to racism. And that was my first experience with racism. That's the first time I dealt with it. And that was when my parents explained to me what it was, man. That's crazy. But anyways, don't forget about my giveaway, my 1,000 sub giveaway. Once again, thank you for 1,000 subs, man. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I linked it in the description. I'm giving away a headset, people. So make sure you go comment on that video, leave a like on that video, man, and make sure you get entered into that giveaway for that headset. I'll be announcing the winner at the end of this month, the end of April. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this commentary. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you got any questions for me, please leave them below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. And I'm out this motherfucker. Peace. 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 Peace.